Picking a niche is the easiest way to guarantee that you will stay poor, sad, and unsuccessful for the rest of your life. At least if you do it like most people on YouTube and on courses and on social media tell you to do it, right? The fundamental advice on, hey, go and find a niche that has demand and go work with that niche and be really specific and all the shit, right? It's just fundamentally wrong. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I pick niches for agency owners that I privately work with. Over the last few years, I have worked with over 700 people and I've helped them generate millions and tens of millions of dollars in revenue. I've helped a bunch of people, hundreds of people go from 0 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 a month. You can see all these results on my YouTube channel, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on doing that. And of course, I have been in the agency game since 2018. And yes, that's what we're gonna be doing today. Most people really overcomplicate picking a niche and they do it in a completely backwards order, right? So this is gonna be relevant for you no matter what kind of agency that you run. So if you run a lead generation agency, or if you do AI automation stuff, or if you do ad stuff, or if you do copywriting, or whatever the fuck kind of an agency you run, you should always have a niche and you should always pick one. But the way you do it is really specific. And if you can't focus on figuring this out, and if you can't focus for 10 minutes and watch this video to make sure that you pick the right niche, you will probably waste a lot more time than this video is going to take you to watch, right? Because if you think about it, if there's two people, right, here is John, right, and then here is Mark. These people can do the same amount of work, right? Let's say that both of these people spend 50 hours or let's say 30 hours a week on their businesses, and they work on their business for 3 months, both of these, right? So they work 360 hours. Both of them put 360 hours in their business. If John has an absolutely terrible niche, he's in a wrong niche, the niche that isn't just aligned with the process that I'm going to work you through today. Throughout these 360 hours or through these 3 months, John is probably going to have a little bit of success, right? Like, no matter if you've messed everything up, if you fuck everything up, if you work hard 360 hours on any kind of a business, you'll probably make some money, right? You know, John might get to 2,000 a month or 3,000 a month or something like this, but nothing crazy. But then Mark, let's say Mark spends the exact same amount of time on his business and they both run, let's say, a lead generation agency, and they have the same offers, same campaigns, same sales process, same everything. But the only difference is that Mark is in the right kind of a niche and in the correct niche for his situation. He might be easily getting to, let's say, $20,000 a month, right? So the difference with this time can literally be 10 times bigger if you just follow this process correctly, right? So if you don't have the attention span to sit here for 10 minutes and see my process on how I have done this for over 700 people who've gotten great results and built $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 a month agencies, you're just going to be unfortunately cooked. But yeah, that's pretty much just like a disclaimer that I'm going to throw in there. But yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm not going to spend too much time yapping about like I often do. So what is the normal approach to picking a niche, right? How most people pick niches and how most people on YouTube talk about picking niches is they tell you that, hey, like first thing that you should do is should do some research. You should find a bunch of industries that have a lot of pain, they have demand, they have buying power, they're easy to target, yada, yada, yada. And of course, these are all important things. So they tell you to research niches. They tell you to pick a niche, right? Hey, select on this niche and then just double down on it and go really hard on that specific niche. Build the offer for that niche, build the campaigns for that niche, and just go into that niche and be really specialized so you don't have to compete with a lot of companies. And yeah, this is like, if you do this, you can for sure make a lot of money. But there is one crucial step here that people are forgetting, which I have seen to be the most important part of this whole process, which is the exact, like the actual end goal, right? So let's say that this is you. For you to pick the right kind of a niche and for you to pick a good niche for yourself, you have to first know what is the actual end goal that you're aiming for, right? You have to know where do we want to go so we can pick the niche that is going to get us there. Because what you have to understand is, I'll just use the writing tool because my handwriting is so terrible. Different different niches build different businesses, right? And this is what a lot of people don't realize. And it took me a long time to realize as well. Like when I started 8 years ago, I didn't know this. But if you think about it from just a logical perspective, in different kind of niches, you will have different levels of competition. You will have different levels of awareness, different levels of sophistication, different levels of buying power, different business economics. There's a million different variables that these different niches have with each other, right? And that is going to dramatically affect in what kind of a business you end up building, right? So if you run a B2B lead generation agency, let's say, and you use cold email to deliver your clients some results, in some niches, the biggest constraint changes. In some niches, the biggest constraint that you're going to have is going to be just getting clients. In some niches, it's really easy to get results for clients, but because of that, there's a lot of people who are trying to compete for the same clients because there's really low barrier to entry to get results. So there's a lot of people fighting for the same clients. So your biggest constraint on scaling the business is just how good are you at marketing and sales. In some niches, it's really, really easy to get clients, but it's hard to get results, right? And that's why it's easy to get clients, because getting results is hard, right? And in some niches, there might be like, the difficulties is going to be like regulation and laws, right? So this is more like higher regulated niches, or you need to have some some additional certifications or some licenses or some bullshit like this. In some niches, it's just going to be operations, right? So hiring, training, AI, because all of these other things make sense, but you just have to make sure that you're able to adapt to the buying power of the niche. So in some niches, like people are not going to have or companies are not going to have as much money, but they really want to buy your service and it's easy to get them results. And this is truly the highest leverage thing that you can focus on when picking a niche, right? So what you need to do before you go and pick a single niche or research any niches is you have to get really clear on a few different things. First, you have to get really clear on what is your goal, right? How big of a business do you want to build? Because again, if you want to build a business that does, let's say, $300,000 a month, there's going to be some niches where it's going to be easier to get there, or where there's enough of room to grow to get there. If your goal is just to make $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month and work 2-3 hours a day, there's some niches where it's a lot easier to do that, like smaller niches where the total addressable market is smaller and there's not as much competition to do that, right? What are your strengths? Once again, if your strengths are more in sales and marketing and promotion and getting clients, and you're really good at building relationships, you should probably go into a niche where that is the biggest constraint, right? If your strength is that you're really good operationally, or you are really good at building teams, or you're really good with AI, you should probably go into niches where that is going to be the constraint. Or if you find yourself being really creative and you really like solving hard problems and doing a lot of hard problem solving, once again, you should probably go into a niche where the actual client delivery and creating the marketing campaign for the clients is the biggest constraint, because that's where you're going to get rewarded the most, right? And then what are your non-negotiables, right? So for some people, and this is not something like there's a great saying, beggars can't be choosers. So obviously when you're just starting out the business, like you shouldn't have too many non-negotiables. But for some people, there are things like, hey, they don't want to build a big team, or they don't want to be like a big front-facing brand. Maybe they don't want to create any content, or maybe they don't want to go to conventions, or maybe they don't want to take big risks with big guarantees, or maybe they just want more stability, so they don't want to work on performance basis. So obviously, if you have some kind of non-negotiables that are going to restrict you when building the business, you should probably once again think about those things when picking a niche, right? And a real life example of this would be, this is a real life example of like few people that were just in our private coaching program. They came in and their situation was this. They wanted to, where's my writing tool? They wanted to build a big business. So the niche that we needed to go into needed to have scalability. They were like really, both of them were like really promoter types, or their like strengths were sales strengths, right? They had no experience with tech or AI or operations. Boom. And they were quote unquote low sophistication in business and marketing because they had not done it before. And these were pretty much the things that we had to work around of like, okay, what kind of a niche do we pick for these guys? And I'm of course not going to talk about the exact niches because that would be pretty unfair for for my private coaching clients. But these were the constraints that I was looking at. So I knew immediately that it doesn't make sense for us to go into niches where the biggest constraint is going to be in the fulfillment side of things, right? Like a great example would be working with e-commerce marketing agencies. Even though working with e-commerce marketing agencies is an amazing niche, and we just scaled one e-commerce marketing agency from 10,000 a month to 85,000 a month in less than 7 months, I'm pretty sure, or like 7 to 8 months. And those companies can be scaled really hard. The big thing there is you have to be really creative and you have to be really focused on actually like how can you differentiate that kind of an offer, and how can you add a really strong unique mechanisms and all these kind of things. So those are hard problems to solve that require you to have like a pretty advanced, or not pretty advanced, but you have to be like really inclined on the service delivery side, right? For these guys, I knew that, okay, like we don't want to do any of that shit. We want to go into a niche where the fulfillment is really simple. And even if it's harder to acquire clients, even if the clients need more education, or even if the clients have more skepticism, or even if the clients don't have buying power to pay 8,000 or 10,000 a month, like we can still make it work really fucking well. Right? And we should probably go into a niche that is low sophistication because these guys were also fairly low sophistication. So it doesn't make sense for us to go into a really advanced niche that is using all of the latest fucking marketing widgets and gadgets and hacks and tricks and tools, because there would be so much for these people to learn. So we went to a niche. We started targeting a specific vertical in like the blue collar professional service industry. So we started targeting like service-based companies that deliver commercial services, blue-collar services in like local areas in the United States of America, right? And because of this niche, like we were able to create really fast a fulfillment structure that was easy to scale. They could get really good results for all of their clients really fucking fast. But then, of course, their biggest constraint was just sales, right? And then when we had to spend like most of our time in just working on sales and appointment setting and generating leads and closing deals and offer structures and objection handlers, when that was like the biggest thing that we had to spend months working on, like it was not an issue because this was already what these people were interested in, and it was already aligned with their strengths and what they liked about running the business. And what happened is in the first 7 months, they went from complete zero, no business experience, never ran a business before, didn't know what they were doing, to building a business that did $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue, right? And they're growing fucking fast, right? So they're gonna be skyrocketing really hard. But again, like if we had gone into a niche where the constraints and the bottlenecks were, let's say, on the service delivery side, and the sales would have been an easier thing, right? And it would have been easier to get clients. First of all, we would have missed out on their biggest strengths, right? And we would have not been really able to leverage this stuff. And we would have had to spend a lot of time working on shit that they just did not care about. What you have to understand that in business, right? I think it was Alex Becker who said in one of his old courses or something really well, business is a complete player versus player environment. So for you to succeed, someone else has to lose, or you have to beat someone. You have to fucking be better than someone. You have to win their client. You have to make the money that they would have made otherwise. Like you have to beat other people. So obviously when you are competing against other people for the same clients and for the same deals and for the same dollars, of course, you want to make sure that you put yourself into a situation where you have the highest possible likelihood of success because you have the best possible fucking advantages, right? Like if you are 2 meters tall, you probably shouldn't go and play ping pong. You should probably go fucking play basketball, right? Like it's the same fucking thing. Or if you are really fucking smart, right? If you're an extremely smart person and you are trying to decide on what kind of a career you want to build, you probably don't want to go into construction, right? Because in construction, there's going to be people who are going to be stronger than you and they're going to have a harder work ethic and they're going to be just fucking grinding harder than you. Right, so if you went into more of an academic or more of an intellectual career path, you could probably have a way better advantage. And once again, the same way that in business, in the job world, for you to succeed, someone else has to fucking lose. For you to get the promotion or for the job, someone else has to fucking lose the promotion or lose the job, right? So if you need to fucking win someone, make sure that when you are looking at niches, you don't just blindly go and pick whatever niche you see online. Like, make sure that you first just get super fucking clear on, okay, what do I really want to achieve here? What am I good at? What am I bad at? What have I done in the past that could maybe potentially help me out here, right? What kind of companies and people do I want to be working with? And again, like, what you really have to understand is you might see online, you might see some, like a person there, right? Like you might see a fucking random dude. And you might see that he's running an agency and his agency is doing really fucking well. And this agency might be working with, let's say, e-commerce marketing agencies. And he's working in the e-com industry, working with e-com marketing agencies, and he's doing $100,000 a month. So you might think, as a smart cookie, oh, fuck, like I'm just going to go work in the same niche because clearly this dude is making money there. The reason why this person makes money in this niche isn't because the specific economics of the e-commerce industry. It's because he probably just has all of the fucking skills and all the strengths and all the weaknesses and all the interest that aligns with succeeding in this niche. Let's say that you are more of a promotion-driven guy or you're more of a sales and marketing-heavy person and your strengths and strengths are there. Like, you're just going to get fucking fucked by this dude every single time. This dude is going to clap your ass, right? He's going to beat you, win you every single time. But then if you go into a niche that is more aligned with your strengths, and this dude tries to come and compete with you, when he's maybe a more operationally driven person, once again, you're going to win that competition. So don't go into losing battles. Make sure that you get clear on what you want to achieve, and make sure that you get clear on what your strengths and weaknesses are to make sure that you don't waste a fuck ton of time in picking these niches. Boom. As always, if you're interested in building a B2B lead generation agency and scaling that to $10,000 a month in the next 24 weeks, guaranteed by the way, go check out the first link in the description. You can personally work with me one-on-one on this stuff and I'll help you out. I'll hold your hand, I'll pick your niche, I'll create your offers and all this stuff to make sure that everything goes smooth. And if you just want to consume the free content, I'm totally cool with that as well. As long as you just drop me a sneaky subscribe, a like, drop me a comment, whatever you want to do. I'm trying to level up my YouTube game, so yeah, do me a favor and do that. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.